There's Facebook, there's YouTube. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are doing well today. Do I have audio? Okay, yep, I do. All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Normally coffee's relaxing, but when it goes down the wrong tube, not so much. Oh. All right, well, it is the 24th of September. It is the second day of fall. Third day of fall. Third day of fall. I can count. 22nd was the first day of fall. And the weekend quickly approaches. It's a little gray out there today. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look-see at what we're expecting. All right. Come on. It is currently 68 degrees in the great metropolis of Brandon, Iowa. Feels like 69, and the shade feels like 66. Air quality is only fair. Looking at how today's supposed to be, partly sunny, high at 81. It'll feel like 79. Take a look, see at what our daily forecast entails. And for the daily forecast, come on. Tomorrow, high of 85, mostly sunny and warm. Saturday is a high of 87. We get the fall and the temperatures seem to rise. However, Sunday has a sudden drop to probably around 73. Cooler with a shower going through. And the rest of the week, we're looking at much, much cooler temperatures. So, summer is trying to get one last hurrah, and then fall promptly shuts it down. For everything there is a season. A time for everything. All right. Get another sip of my Batman coffee. Okay. Let's get started. I am again reading from the Mornings with Jesus devotional. This is for Thursday, September 24th. But when they saw him walking on the lake, they thought he was a ghost. They cried out because they all saw him and were terrified. Immediately he spoke to them and said, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." That comes from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6, verses 49 and 50, the NIV. Geophoria, or geophobia, Latin words, is a phobia of bridges. I once had a friend who would have someone drive her across Maryland's Chesapeake Bay Bridge, a breathtaking 4-mile-long, 180-foot-high expanse. Apparently, the fear for many is the imagined threat of losing control, careening through the guardrails and plummeting to the ground below. Someone else driving is reassurance enough to quell the terror. I don't have a fear of bridges, but a fear of losing control? I have that by the bucketful. And yet, it's obvious that driving across the bridge of life is risky. The solution for me is the same. Let someone else drive. When I gave my life to Christ, I handed him the keys to my car. Wrestling over who gets to drive hasn't worked so well. In the past few weeks, Jesus has used a variety of methods to remind me I gave him the keys. He has the keys. He is the key. For one thing, I was without a car for a week, while my husband's car was in the shop, and we toiled over whether to repair it or get another. Being carless forced me to be still and let Jesus sort out a flurry of concurrent challenges over which I had no control. Sometimes Jesus has to immobilize me, through circumstances I can't control, to encourage me to hand over the keys to my life again. Will I let him drive over the current bridge, allowing me to simply enjoy the view? Will I give him back the keys? Sometimes I would say it's actually more frightening to not have control. You see this in a lot of group projects. There's usually someone that's so worried that something isn't going to quite work out, and so they try to take it upon themselves to do everything, and they burn themselves out. So instead of letting the team kind of take... My cat is trying to steal plastic. Get out of my trash can. Bad. Get out of there. So instead of trying to let the team kind of handle everything, they just do it themselves. And because of the burnout they suffer, rather than each task being done as well as it could be, every task is done about a fraction of how well it should be. And then there's always hurt feelings, ruffled feathers, negative emotions, and it's just usually a very negative experience for all parties involved. So what happens then when we try to relinquish some of that control? Out of here. What happens when we try to relinquish some of that control? We wind up feeling lost sometimes, like we're on shaky ground. A lot of corporate team meetings involve that trust exercise. They involve that where someone stands up in front and has someone behind them, and they put their arms like this, and they fall back, and the person behind them catches them. And while we'll discuss whether or not that's a safe way to demonstrate trust, the point is apt. That sometimes you have to rely on someone to catch you. Sometimes you have to know that someone's got your back. Sometimes you've got to know that someone is going to do what they need to do, what is asked of them. Now, we've all had those moments when we relied on someone and that turned out to be a mistake. We've all had those group projects where someone didn't show up, someone didn't help us out, someone didn't come to the party, as it were. And it feels extremely disheartening. But the wonderful thing about Christ is that he has never been unreliable. If there is one person in all of creation you could rely on, it is him. So when life starts pushing us down, and we need someone to catch us when we fall, what better person could you have catching you than Christ? When you feel alone and you need to know that someone out there is rooting for you, someone out there wants you to be successful in the work you are called to do, what better person than him? Sometimes we have to put our faith in him. Sometimes we have to know that amidst of all things, he's got our back. When we try to take it alone without any support, we will burn out. I've talked about this several times in some of my sermons and even some of these percolators, that in order for us to be able to do the work here, to work with each other here, we've got to plug in to God. We've got to build that relationship with him through Christ. we've got to recharge our batteries. And sometimes it can be a little frightening to be relying on someone like that. But again, what better person could there be to rely on than him? Whenever you fall, he'll always be there to catch you and to help get you back on your feet. That's all I got for us today. Just a couple of announcement type thingies. Just a reminder, tomorrow's Percolator will be pre-recorded. In fact, that is the next order of business on my agenda today. As soon as I'm done with this, I'll record the one for tomorrow. And that will be posted sometime tomorrow morning, before 10. I always make sure it's up on both. I can program YouTube to do it right at 10. Facebook, I can't do that unless I have an organization page, and I am not an organization. I could make one, and maybe I will someday, just so I don't have to worry about this anymore. Also, Saturday, just a reminder, is the UMW, the Brandon UMW meal. Couple things I want to talk about to that. If you did not provide the time that you would pick up your order to Lou, they ask that you do it between 5 and 6:30. That's when they'll have the most people available to help out. That's when they'll be better suited for unexpected arrivals. Also, one thing, they ask that you come up here on the west side of the church. You drive on, I can't think of the name that road is. But if you're coming up on the west side of the church with facing, so the church should be on your right. So you want to be going north on the road on the west side of the church. That way, if you pull up there, right in front of the church, someone will come out, get your name, get your money, go back in, get the food and any change that is due to you, and we'll come out and bring that to you, and then you can continue on and go home and enjoy your wonderful meal. But yes, they want, the easiest way to do that would be to, if you turn to go south on East Street. I know that's confusing. Brandon names their towns after the directions. So if you are going south on East Street, and then you turn right on South Street and go west on South Street, you can then come up. Bernard, is that the name of this street? I don't even remember the name of this street. It's right by my house. I should know. But and then you can go up and drive north, and that way you can pull up right on the right side of the road and get your meal that way. There is a diagram which they have made that'll kind of help with the planning of that. But that's generally the best way to try and make this work as much as possible. Normally this is a meal that they have in the church basement, but with the joy that is the coronavirus, they are doing this to try and provide the best, to be able to provide the meal while still taking every step and precaution necessary to keep us all safe. So just a reminder, you want to come up on the west side facing north, pull right up to the sidewalk there. They'll send someone out, get your money, get your name, go back in, get your change, get your food, bring it to you, and you can go and be on your way. So it's basically just like a McDonald's drive-thru, except much, 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 much better food. And then, of course, reminders also, the 4th of October, so that is a week from Sunday, I will be doing the communion live stream. That will be, the communion live stream will be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That is for anyone who is not able or does not feel comfortable coming to one of the other 4 services. The thing about this live stream, since we are only authorized to do communion over live stream, it will be deleted as soon as I have finished it. So it will not be saved for future viewing. And it will just be the communion service. It will not include anything like the various scriptures or the sermon or the hymns or anything like that that goes with the other services. That will be provided then later with the service that I do online a couple days after that. I'll also that day be pre-blessing the little cup things that we had last week for if you take DVDs to various members who are unable to attend, you can, and don't have internet access or anything like that, you can then bring them, and I'll have little handouts that go with them that you can take and provide them time to be a part of that connection that we celebrate during World Communion Sunday. Also, the 11th at 2 p.m. at Stewart Memorial is our charge conference. Again, that is October 11th. That's a Sunday. It is the Sunday after World Communion Sunday. At 2 p.m. at Stewart Memorial, United Methodist Church in Vinton, we will have our charge conference presided over by Pastor Brian. I think that's all the major announcements I have for today. If I've missed something, please leave it in the comments. But I think that's all I had. Just a reminder, tomorrow will be pre-recorded, so you'll see me, but, well, I don't see you anyway, so. But I will not be live, so you'll miss the weather report. Shucky darns. But hopefully you all have a good day and wonderful weekend, and I hope to see many of you this coming Sunday. So have a good day, everyone.